Hi, this is Ivan from World Outreach, and today I'm going to talk about what makes taking the good news of Jesus to the unreached people groups so important. I heard a story of a missionary called Hudson Taylor who was obedient to Jesus and took the good news to China. One day, one of his disciples came to him and asked, "How long have you had the good news in your country?" Well, before we continue with that story, let's talk about what is an unreached people group. Well, currently there's about 17,400 different kinds of people groups around the world. You can usually tell them apart by their language, how they live, culture, and what they believe. Unreached people groups refer to people groups where there aren't enough local followers of Jesus with the ability to share their faith effectively on their own. They need help from outside to learn about the good news of Jesus. It's about the access to the gospel in their own language. Unreached people groups have limited to no access to the good news of Jesus. Out of all the people groups, well, a huge number, 7,400 of them are still classified as unreached. This means that there are very few, if any, people in those people groups who have heard about or follow Jesus. What does this have to do with me? I'm just a mom, a student, a businessman. Well, let's unpack this for a moment. How did the gospel, the good news about Jesus, reach you? How did the good news reach your city, your people, or your country? Someone had to surrender to the call of Jesus to go. They had to be obedient to the Great Commission that Jesus gave in Matthew 28, verse 18 to 20. Go and make disciples of all nations. Let's go further with the story about Hudson Taylor. Well, Hudson Taylor said to the man, "For about 500 years. The man was shocked. He said, 500 years? My father has looked for the truth all his life and he died without ever hearing the truth. And your people has had the gospel, the good news, for 500 years. Friends, this is not to cause any guilt, but rather to inspire us to seek Jesus, not just as the Savior of our lives, but also the King of our lives. Jesus made no distinction when He commissioned us to go to all the nations. Every follower of Jesus has this commission. Let us start trusting Jesus with our fears, insecurities, and step out in faith to those around us who do not yet follow Jesus. But let us go further than that, to those who live onto the ends of the earth, who have never heard. World Outreach exists to evangelize and disciple unreached people groups, equipping them to disciple their own and other peoples. World Outreach is focused to engage those who have little to no access to the gospel. If you want to find out more how you can partner with us by praying, giving, or going, please see the details below. Friends, let us continue to seek Jesus for those without access to the good news of Jesus.